struggling with the light situ here. Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be eating out for every single meal, which someone recommended that I did, and I thought it was a really good idea because one, I don't have to cook, and two, it's the perfect opportunity for me to do some talking about eating out, because I know that it can be a bit of an anxiety provoking feeling activity if that's the right word, for people who suffer from eating disorders. So that's exactly why I'm going to do it. My arm really hurts when I do this. Can we just have a round of applause please, because Tal has finally sorted her nails out. The issue is I paint them and then I pick them off within a day or two, and then I can't be bothered to repaint them, so that's why they've been so disgusting. But we're back on track now. I am going to go to breakfast, that's the word, with Ella now. And obviously if you enjoy this video, please smash it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. I get more views than I've got subscribers, so if you're one of those people who watch the video and don't subscribe, don't be one of those people anymore. Subscribe, let's all be friends and have a great time. So yeah, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and that's it. That's all I ask, 2 things, that's all I ask. So I think it's about time we get to breakfast in a bizzle. I want the elephant in my room.
I knew you were going to say that.
Very cute little place. Here's my date again.
Always.
Not cheating. So Ella has avocado and I've got a banana bread with yogurt, berries and maple syrup. Woo! Pretty excited to try this, actually. It's warm. Just for the fact. Oh my god, this is so nice. And I got some maple syrup, just because.
Why not?
Why not? That was perfect. That was just what I wanted actually. Yeah. I could have done with another 3 slices. Yeah. The maple syrup was the shout. Cheers! You're right there. You've just got your bum in the shop. He's probably like, it's too cold, so I keep one half warm, one half cold. Oh, reverse. So we're lunching in Sauce Deli, and they have an absolute banging vegan menu, don't they? It's such good veggie and vegan options, but we were going to go half and half on a meatball sub and a giving thanks, so it was kind of like a mock turkey, cranberry stuffing, but they haven't got any mock turkey left because they make it all, so we've just gone for a meatball sub each. And we've had a very productive morning. We've been shopping all morning. Literally, well, since breakfast all we've done is shop and had a few samples from the Christmas market again, pretending that we've never been. Ella got some clothes, I got a dress, got some Christmas cards, I got a few birthday cards I had to get, you got some Christmas presents.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think so. Yeah.
Is that what we bought? That's all we bought. Thank you. Oh my gosh, look. Oh, this looks banging. It looks so small compared to it. Okay, here we go. I want to try and get us both in eating it together. Right, ready, go. Right, it's all good.
It's going to be messy.
Got meatballs in. Well, not real meatballs, obviously. Tomato sauce, some leaves of some type. I can taste onion, and then you can choose what bread. So we went for ciabatta because that's what the line recommended. These meatballs are so good. I almost in them, but they're good. Hello? 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 Yeah? We're on the phone. Hello? was a solid 9.835 out of 10. Do you rate it?
Like, but you honestly so good. That number.
She's just copying. That was
It's because
really
I don't remember what you just said. It was too long.
9 out of 10. There's only one thing in life that is a 10.
Biscoff. Me.
Yeah, Ella. Ella's the only thing in my life that is worth a 9.5.
Oh, thanks.
It's only worth a 9. I'm just very happy that my nails are redone. Very proud of that.
Did you do them last night?
Yeah, at 12:30 on my bedroom floor.
Love that.
But then I like, you know, obviously when they're wet and then you can't do anything. But my phone was in my dressing gown pocket, so I was like using my arm to like push it up out the pocket. That's like a right idiot. What are we doing? Christmas market.
Christmas market and then
doctors. Then back home. In a bazaar.
bye.
You look so confused. Bye.
No, I said bye enthusiastically.
But you were like, bye. Transition. We couldn't resist, so we had to get some chocolate. It's huge. It's like a lion.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, he waved at the camera. But it's the wrong way around. We got the cinnamon sugar instead of normal sugar, which just makes it even better, in my opinion. Have another
Cinnamon sugar is top tier.
one. We didn't even really get down the street and they were so good. I've done with a bit of Biscoff to make it a solid 9 point. No, if it's got Biscoff it would have been a 12 out of 10. Just look.
It looks like a beard. Your donut Santa.
That would be so cool. I'd love a donut Santa. Bring me donuts any day, especially from donut time. Biscoff, no, David Hassel, can't speak. David Hassel Biscoff donut.
Anyone watching this, please?
Just send me it. That's all I want for Christmas. I've come back to 2 huge ass parcels and I cannot wait. Ella, hurry up! So excited to open these. Right, should we open these first?
Yeah.
So basically, I know we're eating out for every meal, but there are no dessert restaurants in York at all. So, my good friend Meg, aka the Cookie Cup Girls, pop their Instagram down here. Check them out, they're absolutely amazing. We ordered a lot of stuff. We even put our names on it. We've all ordered like slightly separate things, so I have no idea what's in each. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, Ellie's already had a cheeky peek. Oh my gosh, okay. Right, that's box number 1. It's like a pizza.
You smell it?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're like children in a little sweet shop. We get so excited over food.
If it's not obvious enough already.
Look at the little stamp. That's so cute. And oh my gosh, these are the dessert pots.
Oh wow.
So Ellie got the s'mores. I've got the Kinderella, which has got the new Kinder spread and a Biscoff one. Is it cookie, Biscoff and white chocolate? Oh my gosh.
Is this the jar?
This is just, oh, there's Ella's cake jar inside. She's a happy girl. Yesterday she was like, I hope these come because I want to eat my cake jar. And now I have another parcel, which I'm going to open now. Let me open it and then I will show you. These are from Shockingly Good, and I'm now one of their brand reps. So I have been sent a Terry's chocolate orange and chocolate orange snowman chocolate slab. How many times did I say chocolate in that? Quite a lot. A Malteser mini Christmas pudding. That is the cutest thing I think I've ever seen. This little gingerbread man, which is actually caramel. This cute little snowflake. And wait for it. It's a chocolate Biscoff slab and it says Tal on it. Ellie's popping all the bubble wrap. That was like the revealing of the chocolate Biscoff slab. It's like, woo! Wait, do it and I'll open my mouth. Ready? No, too late.
3, 2, 1.
I think it worked. Thank you so much, Kath, for these, and pop their Instagram here.
Yay!
I know it's on an angle, but I could just sit on an angle. No, I can't just sit on an angle, that's so bad. I've got the tripod out, but I haven't actually put you on it properly, so you're just balancing, so I have to just be very careful. So, as you saw, we went to Burr for breakfast, and the banana bread was so nice, and it was warm, and I had maple syrup on it as well. So that was really good. And then we went to Sauce Deli, and they have an amazing extended like vegan and veggie menu. So both went for the meatball ciabatta, again amazing. And then as we were leaving, we went to the donut kitchen and got some cinnamon sugar donuts. And then I've just come back to those 2 amazing parcels, so I'm so excited for tonight. My hair has gone very static. We tried quite a few bits of clothes on and I bought a dress, but I don't know if I like it or not, so irrelevant information for you to hear about. I have to wet my hair because it's sticking to me. Oh, we've literally just walked back in, so it's so naughty. Okay, maybe I should brush it. Let me brush it. Oh! I've got a smock dress on and I just fell over it. Just pulling it out. That looks a little bit better, doesn't it? Okay, I've moved you a little bit, but right, okay. Oh, it's so static, it's annoying me. See, I've eaten out for every meal so far today, and we are going out for dinner, so it only makes sense that I talk about eating out. I put up a little suggestion box on my story yesterday on Instagram to ask you guys who struggle with eating disorders or have in the past what you struggle most with about eating out. I had so many responses, absolutely loads, but a lot of them were the same type of things. Oh my god, I really should put my phone on silent. So I'm going to go through a few of them now. One of the big things was that people are worried about judgment from other people and waiters and waitresses. Firstly, when my eating disorder kind of first started to creep in, I didn't really realise, and my first sign that I can think of was I said to my mum, we were on holiday, and I said, could you order my food when we go out, because I get scared when I order, because I was scared that people were going to judge me for what I was ordering. Waiters and waitresses take so many orders a day that they probably aren't going to remember what you ordered the second you move away from the table. The things on the menu are there to be ordered, so why would you be embarrassed about ordering something off the menu when it's on the menu? I, for example, have worked in a cafe. People give me their orders, ask me 5 minutes later what they ordered. I don't know. People sometimes come up and are like, which table's this? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't memorise people's orders. I take their orders and that's it. So about waitresses and waiters judging you, of course they're not going to judge you, they're just there to take your orders. They're probably not even going to think a second thought about it. So the one time the one thing I actually remember from someone's order when I was working in a cafe last year is someone said to me, can I have a hummus sandwich without the bread? I was like, so you want a sandwich without the bread, but that wouldn't be a sandwich. So that kind of threw me a little bit. So I was like, do you just want a pot of hummus with some salad stuff? So when you order, don't be worried about what people think. You're ordering something that is on the menu. You're not making up something completely different, so why would people judge you? You're there for what you fancy. Everybody has different taste buds, everybody has different food preferences, so what you order someone else might not like, but so what, you're there for you, not for anybody else. You don't have to eat their meal, they don't have to eat yours, so order what the goddamn hell you want to order. And if people lecture about it, just eat them. That's what I've decided. If people start lecturing me in life, I will just eat them. And a bit of Biscoff on top and it'll be perfect. Also, people have said about others staring at you. I used to think that people would stare at me when I eat, especially when people knew I had an eating disorder. I think that they'd be more kind of alert to me eating and being like, but she's eating, she's fine. Firstly, if you eat and you have an eating disorder, obviously it doesn't mean you're fine. I think a lot of people don't realise that people with eating disorders do still eat. They don't just don't eat. I would eat smaller amounts and I'd eat only certain things, but I still ate. And I think that's just a very common misconception about eating disorders, is that we just don't eat and like we don't like food, but that's not the case. Like, I loved food, I've always loved food, so it wasn't really that I had a problem with the food, it was kind of my other emotions, but I was portraying it onto the food because it was something that I could physically control, but it wasn't actually the food themselves. I think people are a little bit naive about that, and some people just don't get it. Understandably so, if people haven't been through it, it's a very hard illness to understand, and especially if you haven't been through it yourself or had someone who has been through it, it is very difficult to understand. But people aren't going to stare at you, and sometimes I've had it where people kind of glance over at me, and it's just, I guess, to kind of make sure you're okay. But also I've sometimes had it recently, well, not recently, maybe over the past year, and I've said, I think for example my mum, and I've been like, why are you staring at me? And she's like, I'm not, I'm just zoned out, but my gaze is that way and it looks like they are. But people aren't going to be staring at you, and you know, I had some other people were saying that other people in the restaurant staring at you. People have come out for a meal with a set of people because they are with that group of people and they're there maybe for a special occasion or to meet up or something. So they're not going to be interested in what the table next to them's doing or the table opposite them. They're there for them. They're not there to people watch and watch you. So okay, when someone walks in, you might just kind of be like, oh, someone's coming in, but that's it. You don't pay any attention, and at the end of the day, you're never going to see them again anyway, and you're there for yourself. Like I've just said about the eating, you know, you order what you want to eat. You're there for your own benefit, not for anybody else's. So people don't stare. People are far too self-consumed in their own thoughts and behaviours to worry about what other people are doing. Trust me. A lot of other people said a lack of preparation over food and not knowing what was in it, knowing the calories. Unfortunately, you won't know because you haven't made it, and a lot of places don't put calories on menus. Personally, I prefer that because when you go out, you don't want to be greeted by numbers. Sometimes you go out for a special occasion, sometimes you go out for enjoyment, for social aspects. You don't go to just look at numbers, and I just think it's completely irrelevant. Obviously, like if you have dietary needs and stuff, it could be helpful, but most of the time it just isn't. And I at first felt like I needed to know the calories in food because that's what I worked on, and it would stress me out far more if I didn't know. But then the more I went out, the more I found it easier to go and not know, because then I couldn't fixate on it, and I'd kind of go based on what I wanted, because I found that if the calories were there, I'd automatically go for the lowest one. Whereas if they're not there, I'm going more off what I'm actually craving and wanting rather than what my head then tells me I need to have, because the numbers are there to visibly see what's the lowest. Obviously you don't have the control over what goes in the food, but it's not going to be anything that's going to harm you. They can't put things that are going to harm you. Yes, they use oil, and yes, that can be a huge fear for people who suffer from eating disorders, but they're not going to use like a gallon of oil because that would just ruin the food. They'll only use the amount that's necessary. Everybody else in the restaurant is eating pretty much the same food. People on the table, your table will be, and it's one meal. It's just one meal. And people have said about compensating before and after. I used to do it. I used to overestimate by probably double, treble the amount, because I was scared that I was eating a lot more than I thought because of all the calories and not knowing what was in it and things like that. But it's just a meal. It's one meal, and it's not going to change anything. You know, I'm eating out 3 times today, 3 meals out today, 2 snacks. It hasn't made any difference. You know, it's not that different to cooking at home, and it's nice not being able to cook. People don't always just go out for the food. Yes, it's quite a big part of it. You go out to have fun, you go out to make memories, you go out to meet your friends, to have catch up, to see people you haven't seen for a long time, going to celebrate birthdays, Christmas, anniversaries, things like that. So it's more focusing on the fun aspect of it rather than the fears and worries behind it, because everybody else in the same situation as you know, you're all in the same restaurant, you're all going to be eating pretty much the same similar food. So why would it be any different from you than it would from me? Your meal's not going to do anything to you that it wouldn't do to me, if that makes sense. Another thing that people have said is that people ordering, say, less than you, or you eating more than them. I struggled with that, and I used to think they're not eating that, or if they've stopped, I should stop. But firstly, you're in recovery, and more than likely you need to restore weight and restore a healthy relationship with food, so therefore you will need more than the average person. I really struggled with that, and I'd be like, well, she's not having that, I don't need to have that. He's not having a snack, I don't need to have that. But it's remembering they are probably a healthy weight, they are probably healthy and have a healthy relationship with food. You don't. But of course you need to eat more to restore weight. They might just have to maintain their weight, so they will just eat what they want when they want, but because you're having to restore, you do need to have more. And yeah, it can be hard, but you've just got to remember that this is the point you're at in your recovery, and that's what you need to do to get to where you want to be further on. And even now, I'm a healthy weight, but I probably eat more than my friends here. I do eat more than my friends here. Sometimes they won't finish their meal and they'll say that they're full, and I will finish my meal, I will finish other people's meals, and I still will be hungry. But that's fine, you know, everybody's body's different. My dad and my brother get it as well. They'll eat a meal and then they'll be like, oh, I'm still hungry, and then we might eat more and then they'll be like, yeah, I'm definitely full now. But everybody has different appetites, everybody can handle different volumes and amounts of food. That's because we're all unique, and that's what makes us special. So don't be ashamed or worried or feel guilty about eating more, because you do need more in recovery, and people will understand that anyway. And I'm sure most of the time people will join you on having like desserts and things like that, but it's just about expressing these worries, like I've said before in pretty much all my videos, talking to people and letting them know before you go out, you know, oh, I'm feeling a little bit anxious about it, can I sit next to you, can I sit opposite you? Because maybe if you're worried about people staring, but you know someone who will sit opposite you who won't, it will stop that worrying. Also, people have said about ordering food and them not having what you have. I always suggest looking at the menu before you go, just because you can then pick out 2-3 options, so that if it gets to the point where they're like, I'm really sorry, we don't have that, you're not like, oh my god, panic, I need to make an order now, oh my god, and then everything just goes phew. So have a few options. If they don't have it, then it's not an issue. Like at lunch today, Ella and I were going to share 2 different sandwiches, but they didn't have the one, so we just ended up having the one we wanted, but having one each. Noise. Personally, I don't really struggle with noise. I don't particularly like really loud places, but it doesn't bother me. I guess what you could suggest is that when you go to sit down, if they have spare tables, maybe you say, could we have a table in the corner or further to the door, so you're not actually like in the middle of the restaurant, so there's not as much noise around you. Maybe that could be a suggestion. I'm not really sure, because I don't really struggle with that, but that's what I would suggest if there was a suggestion for that. So many, but they're not the same, but they all, I guess, kind of cover the same thing about, you know, yeah, you're not going to know exactly what are in things and you don't have the control, but give someone else that control for once. And if you have a fear about it, challenge it. It's a perfect way to challenge it, and the more you do it, the easier it become. I used to be petrified of eating out. I didn't eat out for years, and now I absolutely adore it. Someone actually said, which is really interesting, not knowing that it will be worth it and not knowing what to order because you don't want to waste calories. I went through this stage where I was petrified of ordering the wrong thing, so I couldn't make a decision because I didn't want to order something that I would then regret and be like, I wish I would have ordered that, because I feel like it's a waste of calories. So no calories are a waste at all. All calories do the same things to you, and it's a positive thing. Sometimes we order things and we're not going to like them. It's trial and error, but at least if you've had it, you know not to order it again. And I've done it a few times and I've been like, why have I ordered this? Or I've been unsure what to order between 2 things, and someone else has ordered the one thing and I've been like, okay, I'll order the other. And I've looked at theirs and I've thought, oh, I wish I would have ordered that. We've all been there, we've all done it. But it's part of life, and there is no such thing as wasting calories, honestly. It might feel like a waste, but it's not, because it's doing good to your body. Portion sizes, again, every restaurant is completely different, and some people will, you have bigger portions at some restaurants you have smaller. If it's something that you really do struggle with, I did it at one point, I think when I was first started in my recovery, and I had to have certain amounts, and I was very scared about going over, and it had to be specifically that amount. What I'd do is I'd order the meal, and then my mum would ask for a separate plate, so then I could portion off what I needed onto that plate, and then I'd eat the proper portion. Then it became less overwhelming, and it helped me know that that was my right portion. So maybe get a separate plate, and then you can portion out with the help of someone what you think you definitely need to have. And then if you want to have more, go for it. It's absolutely fine. As I've said before, there's no limits in recovery, so eat to your heart's content, eat till you're full, eat till you're satisfied, not till your eating disorder satisfied. I have a lot more, but they, as I said, they all kind of tie into the same thing. So main pointers I suggest: go with people you trust, speak to people before, sit by someone you trust, sit by someone who knows you, understands, and also afterwards, if you're struggling, speak to someone. Control and portion sizes, you know, you can control the portion sizes because you can get a separate plate and then portion out what you would normally have if that is such a big issue for you. You can't have control over the meal because that's where you go out, someone else does it for you, but know that they won't put anything in it that is going to harm you. They wouldn't be allowed to, they wouldn't be a chef if they were. And the restaurant definitely shouldn't be open if that's what they do. People won't be judging you. Right, so say tonight I'm going out for a meal with Ellie and Ella. Then tomorrow I say to them, what did I have? Probably won't remember what I had, and I probably won't remember what they had. Nobody pays that much attention, honestly. It's just because you've got it fixated in your head that people are going to watch you, that you think that's what they're thinking. But just because you're thinking it doesn't mean that they're thinking it. Waiters don't care. They're there to do a job. They're not there to judge what people are eating. And people don't stare. People are too self-absorbed in their own worries and thoughts to even pay attention to you. Timing is another one that's come up, and I used to be really bad with timing, and I'd have to eat at like 5:30, which I used to have to in hospital. And then different times, like, I have to eat on 5:30, bang on the dot. When I, like, if I eat at 6:30, 7, 7:30, not really a big issue. But if that is an issue, I would suggest going, say, half an hour before the time you like to eat, because it usually takes about half an hour or so for food to come. And especially if you go at like 6:30, 7, 7 o'clock usually is like rush hour, or when most rush hour, can you even call a restaurant time like peak time rush hour? but the most busiest time I'd probably say is about 7, half 7. So if you come at those, maybe give it a bit longer, but waiting time is usually about half an hour for a meal, so you can roughly gauge when about it is. But also be flexible. All these things that people have said are things that need challenging, so going out is a perfect way to challenge all of them. There are ways to go around it, doing the portioning thing, sitting elsewhere and things like that to help you integrate back into it. But at the end of the day, the more you do it, the easier it become. And like I said, I was in the position some of you guys are right now where you wouldn't go out for a meal. I just go out for a meal now, and I love going out for a meal. It's so nice to have different food. So yeah, I hope that helped. I never know if these chats are helpful, so when people say they are, I appreciate it. But anyway, I'm gonna go and do some work, and I am very excited to go out for dinner tonight. So we're actually going for a Thai. It's quite new. It opened a few months ago in York, called Zap, and I have been gifted some vouchers to go and try it out, so I'm very, very excited. And then we've got the cookies. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Meg. I love you. That is it, and I will see you a little later on. We've got some vegetarian, is it gyoza? Yep, gyozas. And chicken for Ellie. And I've never tried one, so this is gonna be interesting. Let's go! You can't really see me, it's a bit close, sorry. Hot. It is literally like a spring roll.
Double in your video.
I'll just eat the lettuce.
I don't know if we'd have even reached the part if we...
I always eat the garnish. Don't see me, sorry. The guy's really cute. Let's squeeze in action. Ellie's got some chicken. Pork? Oh, yeah, Ellie's favourite pork. So this is what Ella and I got. So we got a tofu Thai red curry with rice, and then noodles and a stir fry garlic thing with tofu, and then some vegetables, which are coming. Here we go. Yeah, noodles are definitely easier. Voila. It's fair to say my mouth is officially on fire. That was so good. Did you guys enjoy it? Yes. Ellie's looking for clarification.
I thought you were doing your big
rate it out of 10.
9 point.
She's doing the points, I like this.
Oh, I thought that's what you wanted.
Oh, you can have whatever you want.
9.827. Ooh. Yeah.
I've been rating like this today.
9.8, yeah. Good.
Well, so a bit lower than Ella.
Just a tiny bit.
I would rate it a 9.347. Just because my mouth is very much on fire, basically for that, because I feel like my lips I feel like I've had Botox and like my lips are like tingling from the Botox because it was that spicy. But Ella likes spice, so I agreed to have a spicy one. Which...
Oh, the spicy one was the Thai red curry, which you wanted anyway.
But I usually have a Thai red curry and it's not usually that spicy. But thank you, Zach, for the gifted meal, as always. Hi guys, I'm not sure if you heard because it was a little bit noisy in Zap, but we had a Thai and my lips are absolutely tingling. I think it's a combination of cold because we had to walk back and the food being spicy, but it was so nice, so flavourful, so fresh. The staff was so lovely as well. So thank you very much, Zap, for the gifted meal. And now we're back. It's going to be PJ time, I'm a celeb time, and the cookie cup girls time. Very excited, and so is everybody else. Ellie's already had one, and Ella was just coming on the way back and be like, I can't wait to eat my cake jar. So we're gonna have those. So here I have, that's my Kinderella jar. Look at that beauty. That's my Biscoff one. Oh. Caramac, Cadbury Nibble, Caramel, Kinderella, mince pie, Jammy Doger, tea, Schmile. In the dressing gown, but I thought I'd just try this on camera. So I'm actually going to heat it and I'm just going to take the box and torch on the celeb. So. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
Ow.
Oh my lord.
That's so good. Oh my god.
She goes straight in for those bites.
Meg, you're a genius. I freaking love you.
Let's just take a second to appreciate this that I've now heated.
This is next level. Next level. Heaven. How can something taste so good?
Going for the Cadbury caramel nibble. Look at that. I've just heated it and whacked out some custard, which I can't be bothered to heat even though I've just heated this. Choppy custard.
If you've never ordered anything from the Cookie Cup Girls, go and place an order right now because you are missing a vital part of life. I will tell you that.
It's a mince pie in cookie form. Get over how good these are and I can't stop eating them. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful in some way and has shown that eating out 3, well not even 3, like 5 times today is completely fine. It's not made any difference to me and it won't make any difference to you. So if you want to go out for a meal, go out for a meal and tag me in it if you go out for a meal because I'd love to see. As I said before, please smash a big thumbs up and subscribe if you have. That looks like a thumbs down. Don't do a thumbs down, do a thumbs up. And subscribe if you haven't already and I will see you next week for another video. Keep smiling, my friends.